Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Hope you're well on this Monday. It's to everyone out there in podcast land, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching. Good to have you back on this Monday. It's been a long weekend. Some big changes for me, the channel. Got some good stuff done. Finally got some stuff done. Yeah, let's get into it. First of all, you'll notice something missing off the bench here, and that's the 1DS. She's gone. I decided to basically to let her go. It worked a treat. Perfect camera for like normal camera stuff, but just low light. And obviously it's got no video, which I knew to start with, but I thought it was something I could use use that for photography and use the M50 for the video. That was originally the plan, but just low light astro, unfortunately, just wasn't good enough. I'm assuming because it's a 2012 year camera, and that's understandable. But to put it against the M50's qualities pictures for when I do my Milky Way and astro stuff, and I do a lot of night stuff or low light stuff, it just didn't cut the mustard, I guess. It just couldn't compete against these current mirrorless cameras. They're just so good. Photos were good. They just had a lot of noise, more noise than I'd like. And I guess I'm looking at it against the M50, and the M50 just beat it. And I'm like, well, I can't really use it for a lot of my shots. I'm trying to get the best shots I possibly can out there. If I'm going to print them down the road, if I want to sell the prints or do calendars or whatever we're going to do with the channel and however that goes, I need to be able to be putting the best product out there. And if I've got the M50, which I can shoot with now, and it does that, I'm crazy to use this. Having said that, like in the daylight and that, and for portraits and anything else like that, perfect. It doesn't miss a beat. It's an amazing camera. Even for 2012, that thing never missed a beat. I did find out something interesting. You had to find out about the shutter count on them, so that was cool. When I had to put it up for sale, I had to work that out. Someone asked me about it, so I had to go and work that out. You can just basically put one of your last pictures in this program, and it tells you how many shutters it's done. So that was pretty interesting, something different. I didn't know it was really a thing. I'd seen plenty of times, so much such and such shutter count. Now that one was a 60,000 shutter count, and they go, normal life's about 100 and something thousand, so it was only half life. And I guess that's why it was such good quality and why it sold so quick. I think I had like four people put offers in straight away, and then I had it sold straight away. So she's gone. It was a pretty good deal. I threw in the four batteries and everything with it. So it worked out well. The only problem is I've got my timer, my involumeter rocked up today, and I don't have a camera for it. So if anyone needs a 1DS Mark II involumeter, drop me a link and try and contact me on Instagram or something on 34 Media, and you can buy me a beer or something, and I'll flick it over to you. So yeah, very cool. But yeah, so that's gone, and I'm going to put what I'm focusing on now. I'm going to use that money from that and get a drone. Now, also, what else I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to let this go, the Canon, the Vixia. One of the big things I went with for this was the stabilization, and it just doesn't. It's no good at all. A few videos, especially you see the video I've just put up on the weekend, we put up the double falls hike. It's a lot of shaking, and no matter what program I go into, I can't seem to get the enhanced stabilization up. I've tried both running it with it. It puts out a really good picture. It puts out a better picture than the GoPro. So picture-wise, it's good, but the stabilization for this pretty much means I don't have to worry about trying to do a shake, do it post-processing or do it something that way. So I'll probably go back to the GoPro. It'd be interesting. I can't wait to see what the GoPro 9 is. I might sell both of these once the GoPro 9's released, and invest this into a GoPro 9. Now the money I'm going to use from the 1DS, I'm going to reinvest, because that's what it's all about. I reinvest back into the channel, and it's sell something to buy something new to use and give it a crack. I'm going to get myself a little drone, and I think I've pretty much narrowed down. I'd like to get a Mavic Air 2, but they're just, but they're, you can get them cheap around about 1,000 to 1,100 bucks on eBay. But then you've got to get, that's without the carry fly more pack, so that's about the 1,400, 1,500. So you're gonna have to buy new batteries, and then that's just too much money to invest at the moment. I can't afford that. So I'm gonna get the Mavic Mini and start my proper drone life. I've had a drone in the past, which went into the Daly River. You go check out the fishing videos, day 5, I think it was. Not this year, but last year, 2019. So I've had dramas with drones before, so I want to get a decent one. So I'm going to go the Mavic Mini. I've a heap of research on that, and one of the guys from work just got one, and it looks pretty good. The picture quality and video looks pretty cool. So I'm going to give that a crack. It's a right budget. I should be able to get something around the $500,000 sort of mark to get a full kit, and then it's easy as well. The other main reason, I can chuck it in my backpack with all the gear and then take it out on my hikes, and I don't have to worry about missing out on something. So that's the plan so far. So a fair bit changing on the camera side. At the moment, I'll still keep this, but I've just got to be wary with that stabilization. I've got to do a bit more research on that, if I can find out how I can get up into that next stabilize zone. I've got a funny feeling you got to drop the picture quality right down to like 720p, which will be really piss poor, unfortunately. Other than that, like as I said, the picture quality of that's been fantastic. The time I get out of the batteries is great. The only other drama I've had with it is it splits files. So once it gets to a certain mark, it'll make another file. So then you've got to stitch those two files together. So that was the only thing. I've got the zoom down pat, so I've adjusted all that, so that's worked out well. I've just got to work out that stabilization. If I can get that working, I may keep it, but if that GoPro 9 looks good, that comes out soon, well, that's a waterproof option, depending on what they do with the microphone, because obviously that's not waterproof now when you've got a mic plugged in. So I've got to look at a few things, but weighing up the options, this is definitely not needs to sort of pull its weight a little bit, because I'm just not happy with that stabilization. A few there, like you can go in and do the stabilization post, but it just doesn't look as good, and it creates warpy stuff, and you really need to sort of do it in that. So I'm probably going to, on the walking stuff, I'm going to use the M50 with the stabilized 10 to 18 lens on there, and then use the enhanced, and I'm going to give that a crack on the next hike and just run that off the Joby. Small, light compact, and fingers crossed that should give me the stabilization I get, and I get pretty much a weather resistant body compared to that. If that works, well then this one will definitely be on its way out. So a few things happening there. Now, as I said, the Double Falls hike video is up and live. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. It was an amazing walk, hike, fantastic country. Got to see some things I didn't expect, as I have found many times on this channel. And where I envisaged going worked out to be just an amazing place, and just gorgeous, and offered so much. The big benefit out of it, and it's probably the last major video with the 1DS, and because it was a daytime one, I did a couple of big panoramas, and I did one with the M50, and I did one with the 1DS, and the 1DS and the M50, just like the photos come out amazing. Plenty of light. It was a cloudy day. I think I had like 400 or 500 photos for the day for the hike that I had to whittle down. It's taken me a good solid week and a bit to get through. And I think the biggest thing, fatigue this week, it just crushed me. I've just not been able to stay up once. Since I got home, I just haven't been able to stay up late once to do work. I've tried, and I think I've got to 10, 11, and even last night I fell asleep at the desk a couple of times. So just desperate need to sort of recover a little bit on the rest. So hopefully that'll sort of happen in this week. So that Double Falls hike's up. Now the next video for next week will be the behind the scenes, which if you've a regular on the channel, you know I sort of pre-did that as my road video. So that's probably 90% done. So I should be able to smash that out fairly quickly. So that should be good for Friday, Saturday to release out, which gives me most of this week coming and next week to focus on the big job, which is my road comp. I've got the footage we done this week, so that's all there, ready and dusted. Worst case, I have to record sound, which I can do in my room at work, so that's no dramas. So I'm looking good, and I really need to focus on that. I need to get that the best I possibly can to give myself, I guess, some sort of a sniff at getting a prize at least, or getting a mention or some feedback from the professionals. So that'd be really cool. So yeah, that's the current plans. It's going to be a big week this week as well, because we've also, don't forget, you've got Sony tomorrow. That the big Sony release. They had a bit of a thing on the weekend where the pictures of the new cameras dropped out. It is actually going to be the A7C. After the on again, I don't know how many rumours we've had on again. Yeah, no, it's not going to be that. It's going to be renamed the Vloggers. Well, it looks like it's definitely going to be the A7C. I've got the picture. You'll see it in the thumbnail. But it's going to be in the Vloggers sort of, I guess, set up for what they're going to do. They're going to be bringing out a few sort of vloggers scenario type cameras. Now, look, all the specs we talked about the other day, they seem to be fairly similar, and this looks pretty good, and it looks like a decent camera. Obviously, it's not designed for photography. It's more for run and gun shoot. So depending on if those specs are accurate, this camera is going to be pretty good. So we should hear about that tomorrow. That's going to be a pretty big one. Also, we possibly might be hearing about the PlayStation. I'm not sure when, maybe this week. The Xbox obviously dropped last week. We got the prices for that. The Sony has come back and said it's probably going to drop the prices to battle against the Xbox. The Xbox was $299, $499. $299 for the S and the X models, $499. So they're now saying the current rumours are that Sony's going to be around the base one. So that's the digital, which is probably all I'd get anyway. So you get all the specs, you just don't get a disc drive. I haven't had a disc for a long time. I didn't use the last ones on my PS4 Pro. I think I've still got all those discs still wrapped in plastic. I've never even used because you just download them. It's even at work where it's terrible internet, it's still much better. And so it'll be $399 for that, and then $499 if you want a disc drive. So basically $399. It's only going to be those sticklers that want to have those physical discs to upload, which is pretty crazy. So that's due. That may be tomorrow. Don't know what they're going to fit into this big release. It might be just cameras. It might be Sony. I'd say the PlayStation might be a separate big event. But that pretty much current as yet, those prices. And that's going to do pretty well. If that X is at $499, that basically means you get that PlayStation at a similar sort of tech level for $100 US cheaper. So very, very cool. So look out for that. So it's Sony's events tomorrow, and then Wednesday morning or 1 a.m. Wednesday is the Apple event for us here in Australia. So that's going to be huge. We don't know what's coming. There's 55 billion rumours about if it's watches, is it tags, is it a laptop, if it's that. Possibly a 14-inch arm has been rumoured now. The boys, Lou Later was saying that some leakers were talking about that as well. So there's possibly a 14-inch arm coming. What are they going to release the phones now? Or is this going to be a different event to what we know? Is this just more watches and peripheral stuff that we never got earlier in the year? That's going to be an interesting one. They have allocated 2 hours, so you've got plenty of time to fit everything in. It's just what they decide they want to release. 48 hours to go, so I don't think we have to worry for too much longer. So I won't bother you too much of what they're going to get. Now, the other interesting stuff on the Apple side is there's a patent that's just been found that's just got through and passed. Basically, similar to the water ejection, not on this one. This is the Series 1, which is bloody useless. Great watch, but no, it's not water. So my Series 3 jack smashed. So that's no good. But on the Series 3, I think that was the first series, actually, the water one, used the speakers and harmonics to pump the water out of the watch to get rid of the water so it didn't clog up for your sound and volume and stuff like that. Well, that same sort of system is going to be used in the iPhones. So that'll be good. It'll increase its waterproof ability or water resistance, I guess. And with the rumoured wireless going completely wireless cable 3 maybe next year, that's sort of a good timing. If that patent's been locked in and ready to go, they've already got the technology. It's just a matter of implementation into the phone. You then take out the ports. Hello, iPhone. That would be the end of the GoPro, I think. And those action cameras, if you could get that with a phone that is fully waterproof, how you do your sound is going to be different, but you could do a Bluetooth speaker or Bluetooth mics, much like the Rode wireless. If you could do some sort of wireless system for your sound, you have got yourself a fully waterproof phone with all the fruit and nuts and berries and chocolates. That'd be a massive thing for Apple, and I think as soon as you work out those ports are gone for power and stuff, which the wireless gives you, like the watch. You can still talk into that, so it can still pull sound in. Although it's pretty average, I must admit, on my Series 3, no one could ever hear me when I tried to ring them. So again, that's why I just use it now for running and my music. But I think if they can nail that with the phone, there's some great options. You could do Bluetooth-wise with your headphones for your sound. There's some really good options, I think, for that. So that would make a fully waterproof phone. Basically, you get, with a good case, like a mouse case on it, you get a full action video camera, vlogging camera that's weatherproof, waterproof. You can do whatever you want. So that would be very cool. So a really important patent. I think it's probably a little bit overlooked in the fact that you couple that with the wireless charging, that then changes the whole aspects of phones, and you're against these guys. So that will be huge for your action cameras, your Insta360s, your GoPros, those sort of awesome bits of kit. If the phones are getting close to them, we already know the iPhones and the S20s and the Galaxies and the Samsungs and all that sort of Huawei's with their cameras have affected the camera market. And I think video-wise, they're coming for these guys as well. And if they can get that weather resistance up and waterproof up, well, then that's pretty much gonna smash these guys as well. So a lot happening in that. So yeah, obviously that's not gonna happen this week, but don't forget, Sony tomorrow, Apple Wednesday, massive week for tech, and a few other things happening. Now, right, I went out also on the weekend and shot down at Point Perrin and got something I've been wanting for a while, is that Milky Way arch in a pano. I think it's come out. I had a brief quick look at the photos to make sure it was all good. Went down to Point Perrin in Rockingham, and wow, it was really good. One of my best mates, Ed, come down with us. We haven't caught up for months because of COVID and work and life and kids and family, all the usual stuff everyone's got to deal with. So it was a good chance to just catch up and have a chat, and while I'm shooting photos, and it was pretty cool. And what a beautiful spot it was. Just an amazing place. Water's crystal clear, some amazing rock cliffs, seascapes and sea stacks and stuff. And I timed up so the Milky Way was just above the horizon over the ocean, and it come up pretty good. So that's going to be a good video coming soon. Shouldn't be a big long video, but I'm pretty confident I've got some really, really nice photos out of it. And if I can get one of those big Pano Astros with that, which is the hope, and I've got a few options there to pick from, I think it's going to be sensational. So can't wait to that. So that was pretty good. And on the way home, which was the point I'm leading to, the long way around, freeways, new thing. I think it's in WA only. Only just seen it on briefly. I don't watch TV or listen to the radio much other than an occasional bit of music. They've got this new thing where you adjust the speeds with your speeds on ramp, and they block people from coming onto freeways if the traffic's too heavy and all this crap. And so anyway, basically, it was 2:30 in the morning AM on a Saturday night. I think there was about 5 cars on the freeway with me, 4-lane freeway. It's not a car within a kilometre except for us 5 cars. It's a 100 zone. 3 of those cars are doing 90 in the 100 zone as per normal WA drivers. And the 2 of us are sitting on the 100 speed limit, no worries in their lanes. Next minute the sign saying, oh, someone's pulled over in the emergency lane in the left. Be aware. I'm like, oh, cool, that's handy to know. Someone over the left, just keep an eye out. Cool. Oh, no. With this new system they've got, it's fantastic. 0 traffic on the road. This car was parked in the emergency lane, nowhere near any sort of traffic. They reduced the speed from 100 down to 60 while this person's sitting in the car waiting for a tow truck. So absolute just nutcases, these people that run the government. Wow. I couldn't have thought of anything dumber than that. It was absolutely never going to affect the flow of traffic. There wasn't enough cars anywhere near that time period. So if it's automated, it's a shit system. And if it's manned, then those people should get their asses kicked because that was just woeful. So for a period of about 3 Ks, I had to slow from 100 to a 60 just to get past this car that was parked in emergency lane, nowhere near actual traffic, with a person sitting in the car. Wow. Brilliant. Yeah, I'd hate to see what that's going to do in rush hour when there's like an accident or something. It's just going to lock it up and it's going to be a joke. So yeah, pretty darn woeful. And yeah, I knew it was going to be dodgy when I seen it. Oh no, that's bad. And I got my first taste of it, and yeah, it was piss poor, terrible idea. Whoever thought of that just wanted to waste money because they had friggin' speed lights every, I think, probably kilometre to tell you when to slow down, and that must have cost millions of dollars, and it's just going to piss a lot of people off, even more so on Perth roads because the roads are already full of people who can't drive or, yeah, just don't know how to use indicators. It was pretty bad. So there's a little, I'm sure you'll get to taste it when you see it, and I'm sure you're probably going to get affected by it. Just hope no one pulls over to like have a wee or something or use their phone because it's going to shut down traffic. Rightio, Nikon on the 16th, so that's tomorrow. On Wednesday, we've got another release from Nikon, a new Z 50mm Toneh 1.2 S lens on the 16th, so that sounds pretty darn good. A 14 to 24 2.8 as well, an S lens. So 2 lenses on the 16th, Nikon's releasing to suit their Z range. These things are going to be pretty cool. Now that 50mm, that's probably going to be nice for you, so your portraits and stuff like that. But that 14 to 24 Toneh 2.8 is going to be darn sweet. If you own a Nikon camera, it's going to be expensive. I'm assuming it's going to be like your top of the range one, but that's going to be awesome. So I'm assuming the S's are stabilized. That sounds like a fantastic lens for astro and landscape stuff, 14-24, that perfect range, or even for vlogging, 2.8, that's perfect. That's going to let you do a wide variety and then also let enough light in for you if you're doing some night stuff. So if you're a Nikon user, definitely wait for that one. That's going to be coming out on the 16th. So another release on Wednesday. So yeah, September tech month just never fails, even in the middle of COVID where you've got massive things happening. Now, Nintendo also is going to be pumping it up with all that's happening with the PlayStation, Xbox. The Nintendo is going to be bringing out the Switch Pro by Christmas. We're going to get it. T3 confirmed this, and it's going to be 4K, and it'll be able to 4K upscale existing games to give you that clarity and that no real idea on prices, form or function. There's a couple of rumours floating around where the joysticks are a separate thing, where they don't clip on. So whether it's a separate standalone, obviously it's a little bit early, but we are told it's probably coming before Christmas. So we should hear a lot more about that in the coming weeks. So probably only about, I don't know, 12, 15 weeks before Christmas. So what is it, about 15, 16 weeks. So I'm sure we'll definitely hear that maybe in the next month. We'll get some more reports on what's coming for that. So be aware of that. If you're a Nintendo user, be ready to spend some money at Christmas as well. Now, some other stuff, and then I'll leave that one for last. Sony is bringing out for those of you who have won the Tats Lotto, a little bit of a fun one, OLED projector, equivalent OLED HDR. They're saying the picture quality up to 4 to 5 meter screen is as good as an OLED screen on your normal TV. So if you've got an OLED, you know how the blacks are just amazing and it's awesome. I used to have one that's up on the shelf there after Jack got his bell into it and cracked the screen and destroyed a $3,000 telly. That's the last time I buy a nice telly. The joys of being a parent. I'm sure all you parents understand me. So yeah, this thing's amazing. 4K, 10,000 lumens, which is just ridiculously bright. You've seen my Claris headlight, which is 3,200 lumens, which is basically daylight. So 10,000 is just insane brightness. It's 50 kilos, so it's a big unit, big box, massive box that you're going to have to hang off the roof to go to your screen, and should be coming in January 2021. The only thing I could get price-wise, there's an Epson, which is runs around the same. It's about a 13,000 lumen laser projector, and that's 80 grand. So this, I'm assuming the Sony's going to be maybe the 50 plus mark, around the 50 grand mark plus. But yeah, wow, looks amazing. From what they've got on Sony, the quality is pretty darn smicko. If anyone's going to do it, Sony's going to do it. If you've got the spare cash or you're looking to do some sort of taxi write-off or something and do an improvement on your house with that new government scheme, well, this would be a great improvement to the house. You've got a bowl to the roof, just say it's structural. And last but not least, Ninja is returning to Twitch, locked and loaded. He's signed another multi-year deal with Twitch. He's going to be locked in and loaded with them. Also, Shroud as well has gone back to Twitch. Both have signed deals, exclusive deals with Twitch. So if you're a Ninja fan, obviously with Mixer and all that happenings, he did try coming back to YouTube and looking at that. But whatever reasons and whatever the monetary is, we haven't heard much about that. But he is locked and loaded. The ads are out, the Twitter ads, all the Insta ads will be out. He's back on Twitch where he come from. So all you gamers out there, I'm sure you'll be happy to get along and catch out his current streams. And that's about it. Still no word on Dr. Disrespect. He's still doing YouTube, but obviously we know he's still lawyers, so that Twitch thing, I don't think that's going to be happening for him. But yeah, I thought I'd just let you know. Big one for Ninja. He's probably the biggest name that everyone knows. So that's a huge thing for the gaming, online gaming. Rightio, that's about it. Another day. We're done and dusted. I'll see you all again tomorrow, Tuesday. Stay safe. It's going to be a big one, probably tomorrow, or depending on when the event is, we may get it tomorrow night. So maybe Wednesday show, we're going to have a massive show with both the Sony and the Apple. Just depends when that Sony one is on. I think it's tomorrow night. So I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll check out the dates and times and work out that Sony time frame and let you know about that. So I'd say definitely from Wednesday onwards, we're going to have a massive amount of tech and stuff coming. Stay tuned and we'll see you all soon. Thanks for popping by. Right, if you're going that way, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.